me.
Definitely. Colombia will be playing Japan in the next game, and then Ivory Coast will be squaring up with Greece. Ivory Coast, I thought they did well in their first game against Japan, coming back from a goal down, and then they got 2 beautiful goals. Against Colombia, if not for that mistake at the back by Cedere, I don't think Colombia will have gone with maximum points in that. But as it stands right now, Ivory Coast has a lot to do in the last game. Just defeat Greece, and then you will be home and dry.
Which is possible.
Draw, very, very possible. A draw could also favor them if they draw with Greece, and hopefully if Colombia defeats Japan, Ivory Coast will qualify behind Colombia. As it stands, Colombia representing South America doing brilliantly well, and of course you can fault them in spite of the fact that Falcao is not at this tournament. The other players have come to the party.
Did they miss Falcao? Do you think so?
A little bit, his leadership qualities and then some of the goals, but people like James Rodriguez have actually come to the party, and you would expect that Colombia will top the group.
Okay, all right. Going to Group D, this was considered the group of death, and I know you follow English football for you've been following it for a while. I know you're passionate to support Arsenal FC. Well, that's what it is now. Talking about the group of death that was perceived to be a group of death, it hasn't lived to its billion because we have a Costa Rica on top qualifying from that group that has Italy, former champion, one-time champion, Uruguay, one-time champion, and England, one-time champion.
I think it's lived up to its billion as a group of death. It's accounted for the death of England. And will most likely account for the death of another world champion, like you said, because only one of Italy or Uruguay can go through alongside the Costa Ricans. Well, home and dry, in my own opinion. I feel that in the final game against England, the Costa Ricans will still go ahead and show the world that the 2 results they've recorded so far were not flukes. That team is one that probably needs to be tested by, a combination of world's experts from across different fields to see if they're actually not on drugs, because really their energy levels are incredible. The work ethic, incredible. They keep running for over 90 minutes. And the way the defense en masse and attack en masse has got to be one for top coaches around the world to be looking at in this competition. Having said that, I think that Uruguay looked to me like the team to go through alongside
Italy?
alongside Costa Rica. Why do I say so? I feel that in that game against Italy, the Italians definitely would be under a lot more pressure than the Uruguayans. Okay. Remember the last time, 2010, they went home in the first round. They wouldn't want that to happen again. Uruguayans are playing in familiar terrain. They're in South America, and Larry has spoken about how South American teams are seemingly doing well in this competition. If they get Luis Suarez firing on all cylinders like he did against England, and the support cast also come to the party, my mind tells me Uruguay will go through alongside Costa Rica.
Okay, all right, but the surprise for me is the Costa Ricans are doing well. I expect to see what they will play against the English side. Let them have 3 points at least, so they won't just go empty-handed. Talking about Group E, which is the next group after that, is a group that it's not done and dusted for France. They currently occupy the top spot with 6 points. Ecuador, Switzerland also have the chance of edging France out of that group. I mean, they might not even qualify for the next round.
You're very correct. This is a group that Nigerians should actually focus on, because whoever comes out of Group F, which is where Nigeria is, we will be meeting those from this group. So if France tops this group and Nigeria comes second in Group F, Nigeria will likely play France. If Nigeria comes first, maybe if they defeat Argentina in Group F, they will meet the second team in this group. Having said that, France, I don't think France have qualified entirely. They will have to expect that they will win their last game against Ecuador. Switzerland, Honduras as well, you would expect that Switzerland will roll over Honduras. If Switzerland wins that game, they will go to 6 points, and then Ecuador can do anything against France. Remember, Ecuador against Switzerland, Ecuador were almost scoring in the last minute, and then the guy lost the ball. Switzerland went on a counter-attack, and they lost that game. They had to come back against Honduras, So you would expect that this group, you may still see surprises, but I expect that France will top this group. I mean, they should get a draw
against Ecuador.
The
next group is Group F. We're not going to talk about Group F. We're going to round off the segment with Group F. We'll go straight to Group G. I'll tell you what is going on in Group G. Group G, we'll see some games. The last game of that group we'll play today, we saw Germany take on Ghana. It was a fantastic game for me. I mean, the Ghanaians coming back into that game after losing the first game to the United States. Talking about Group G, we have Germany, USA, Ghana, and Portugal. The Portuguese, we thought that they were favorites to win the World Cup.
Well, I never thought they were favorites to win the World Cup. I thought that they were one of the dark horses. But on the evidence of how badly they played against Germany in their first game, losing by 4-0, I thought that they probably had shot themselves in the foot. But they still have a massive chance, especially because Ghana contrived to lose against the United States. If Ghana had picked up points in that game and had picked up 1 point yesterday against Germany, they would have been shoe in to go through to the next round. So I think that in spite of the fact that, yes, they lifted hearts with their performance yesterday against the Germans, the Ghanaians probably had done themselves in by losing that game against the United States, because Portugal, I imagine, will do the business against the United States of America. And in the final game, Ghana-Portugal, it will have the look of a final to it. The Portuguese would have too much quality for the Ghanaians. Though if the Ghanaians can deliver the sort of performance I saw them draw against Germany again yesterday, I think that they may trouble the Portuguese. But I don't see the Portuguese having 2 bad games in this group. I think that they will bounce back from their setback against Germany and pick maximum points against US and Ghana.
So you think your qualifiers will be Germany and Portugal?
To top and Portugal to go through second.
Okay, we'll watch that closely. I mean, because that's a dicey one. We'll go straight to Group H. Larry Pinel, Belgium, Russia, Korea, and Algeria. Algeria are African brothers, and they don't have a point. It doesn't look like they're going to qualify from that group.
I don't think so. Recall in the game against Belgium, they gave all they could. Bentele was fantastic, and Feguli, who plays for Valencia, actually got a penalty in that one, but they allowed Belgium to come back into it. Fellaini amongst the scorers in that one. And Belgium, as I've said, they are a team that you should actually watch at this tournament. They're like dark horses, so to speak. They have fantastic players all across the pitch, so much so that players like Fellaini and Vermaelen can't even get into the squad. But having said that, you would expect that Belgium will actually get maximum points today. And I expect Belgium to top the group and go all the way to quarterfinals or semifinals. I said that before. They're like dark horses. And you'll expect Russia to also qualify.
I'm sure the guys in Group G will be licking their lips against the guys in Group H as it stands. All right, now quickly we'll go straight to Group F, and we're going to round off the segment with Group F. I mean, this is the group Nigeria actually belongs. We have Argentina, Nigeria, Iran, and Bosnia. Group F, the Super Eagles. Well,
the Super Eagles have hauled themselves back into reckoning with that victory against Bosnia yesterday. I thought we had everything go our way in that game yesterday. There were 2 big calls made by the referee that went in our favor. The first was Ndjeko's disallowed goal, which replay show was a legitimate goal and should have stood. And then secondly, in the build-up to Nigeria's goal, it appeared that Emenike may have fouled the Bosnian defender. In some other games, or some other referees would have given that as a foul against Nigeria, but the referee let it go, and Emenike squared the ball for Osase to tap in for Nigeria's decisive goal. So I think that Nigeria has got back into contention with that win. What we need to do is to get a draw against Argentina, and we'll be home and dry. So it means our destiny is right in our own hands. And speaking about Argentina, who many expect will top this group, they haven't exactly hit the ground running.
Now, I'd like our producers to actually take it back to Group F. Group F is where we stand, so we can see what the log looks like and our opportunity. That's it.
So as I was saying, Argentina with 2 wins haven't exactly still hit the ground running. There were talks about a player mutiny of some sort at halftime yesterday against Iran, when Lionel Messi led the team, the players, against the coach, demanding that he switch from a 4-4-2, which they started with, to a 4-3-3, which allows them more freedom to play. Right. In the first game, when they switched to 4-3-3, Gago came on. They looked a lot better going forward. Yesterday as well, when he did that, they looked a lot better going forward. Everybody expects Argentina to beat Nigeria, but I feel that we can build on the win yesterday, the confidence that is instilled in the boys to get a draw against Argentina and finish.
I'm going to bring something to your attention. I mean, you did say something that they had to change formation against the first game that they played against Bosnia to 4-3-3. Now, the last game they played, they set him in the 4-3-3 formation. But they struggled, don't you think so?
They struggled
against kudos to the Iranians.
We've got to credit the Iranians. I mean, they've got to be one of the most defensively solid teams in this year's tournament. The way they defended with their lives, played men behind the ball and broke forward with almost devastating effect. They could have scored a couple of goals, but for Sergio Romero's brilliant goalkeeping. So I think, yes, the Argentines didn't play up to their potentials, but the Iranians also made it even more difficult for them by packing the bus, so to speak. But I still feel that Argentina will finish top of this group, and Nigeria will go through second.
Talking about the Super Eagles, Larry, I mean, he has predicted the Super Eagles going through. I strongly believe so too, because I mean, I don't expect Iran defeating Bosnia. That means they don't end up going. But the permutations won't work with this World Cup we've seen. Look at the Super Eagles critically. I mean, some people actually come out to say that they were playing more of an individual. They were playing more with individual skills than as a unit that we expect them to play. I mean, the guys were fantastic. Michael Babatunde, we saw Mayama on the night. I mean, he's had the best tournament so far for the Super Eagles. Your point of view, do you think we can build on that? And what do you expect further from the Super Eagles?
Definitely. The game yesterday was actually better than the game against Iran, which shows there's a gradual improvement. I mean, some players actually came to the party yesterday. Yeah. Emenike was a beast on the right-hand side. Yeah. He was constantly a menace to the captain of Bosnia-Herzegovina, Emir Spahic. Having said that, Enyama also did himself a whole world of good in goal yesterday. He's one of the only goalkeepers not to have considered any goal at this tournament, with the Mexican goalkeeper. And also, Michael Babatunde, as you've mentioned, Onazi had to cover for Mikel's deficiencies. I didn't see Mikel in that game yesterday, so Onazi had to do what you call the box-to-box runs. Ahmed Musa didn't come to the party the way Emenike did, so that's why all of our play, as Bada mentioned before we came on air, was through the right-hand side. So nothing was coming from the left-hand side. But as I said earlier, the team is gradually building, and they can only get better when they play Argentina.
So kudos to the coach.
Definitely, kudos to the coach. I mean, he made three changes.
You want to share your opinion?
Yeah, he made three changes. Sorry, before Bada comes in. He made three changes. The first is that Yobo came in the defense. Yobo was a rock of Gibraltar. He was very solid with Omeru. I mean, they locked Dzeko in their back pocket yesterday. Babatunde came in. He was brilliant as well. And then he switched Emenike to the right-hand side. Emenike was brilliant on that right-hand side.
And he brought Michael Babatunde
Michael Babatunde came in. So all of the changes that he made, Keshi, he was brilliant.
And he brought in education at some point in time.
Definitely.
Well. Yeah, managers live and die by their decisions. In the first game, he started Ramon Aziz. It didn't quite go well. He knew that he needed to bring the changes in the second game to get any kind of result. But you could see some semblance of a system. You could see a rhythm developing. You could see that we suffer when we play teams that are set up defensively. Yeah. But when we play teams that are open, that believe that they can hurt us, we look a lot better, which is what happened. Against Greece, happened against Iran. Yesterday Bosnia believed they could come, have a go at us, and then we played with more freedom. Yeah. Against Argentina, obviously Argentina won't set up defensively, which is why I fancy that we may get a draw in that game. If we go through second place, we're likely to play France, another team that has been scoring goals in abundance, has been playing free-flowing, attacking football. We will have gaps.
The way you sound, it's sounding like we're going to play the quarterfinals. I want to say amen to that, though. Anyway, I'm not tired.
We are not yet sure of qualification. Okay. We must be careful of something, though. This World Cup might see the first coin toss if we're not careful. Here is it. If we lose by 1-0 against Argentina, and Iran defeats Bosnia by 1-0, then Iran and Nigeria will have been on the same points, same goals scored, same goals for head-to-head. I mean, we played 0-0, so it comes down to a coin toss. So what we must do is that we must make sure that we better Iran's result. If Iran loses, we can lose. If Iran draws, we should draw. If Iran wins, we should try and get a win.
It's going to be played simultaneously anyway. We're going to play on the same day at the same time. Now, moving into the game as we round off, the game against Argentina, what do you expect Stephen Keshi to do? I'll start with you, Larry. As a formation, who do you expect to see play? Do you think it should keep the guys that played against Iran, or it should...
I think it's still same of same. If this guy is fit, Michael Babatunde, because he hopped off injured yesterday, it should still be same of same. But Ahmed Musa needs a lot of talking to. I mean, we can't rely on Emenike on the right-hand side.
Or on the field?
On the right-hand side alone. Don't forget that it's Argentina. They have a certain Zabaleta and a Gare. So you have to put your men on them so that they don't overlap. Zabaleta loves to do that a lot. Okay. So you must pin them down.
All right, from you?
Yeah, I mean, he said it brilliantly. Rojo and Zabaleta like to bomb forward, leaving gaps that can be exploited behind them. So I feel that if we play 4-3-3, three central midfielders, that is, and two wide men, in maybe Victor Moses, if he's forgiven for his bad game against Iran in time, and Ahmed Musa or Michael Babatunde can exploit rather those gaps behind Rojo and Zabaleta.
Yeah. Okay. I'd like to say thank you, guys. I mean, the Super Eagles is the team we support. It's our country. They got to play on Wednesday and see if they could qualify from that group. I'd like to say thank you for being a part of the segment. Thank you, guys, for doing justice to the World Cup. Till we come here again next week, we ask you not to go anywhere. Ken Ochonogo will be back in the studio, and he will take you through the rest of the program. Join us again.